Welcome to 3D RPG. It is actually just named 3D RPG. I'm here with my girlfriend Delvy.
Hello.
And so Delvy, have you ever played 3D Game Heroes?
Yes, I have actually.
Oh, how did you fare with it?
I don't know. It was about 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I haven't played it since around when it came out either. But this game definitely reminds me of 3D Game Heroes. It's got a voxel aesthetic to it. The lighting effects are extremely pronounced.
It's the impression I got when I saw the title screen. It's like, hey, this looks like 3D Game Heroes.
And we wake up in hell.
As you do.
We asked who we are, and then immediately were able to deduce that we were in hell and remember our own name, so it didn't take very long. I'm not even sure why we went through the whole who am I shtick when we came to a realization rather quickly. So you can customize the appearance of your hero. I'm gonna make mine after me, but it doesn't really matter because shortly we're going to be equipping ourselves with all kinds of armor that will change our appearance, so there's no point to any of this, really. We can also roll stats. You might see that's what the X button is dedicated to, is rolling stats. But you can just roll until you get good ones. You can just keep re-rolling, so I'm not sure why it even has a roll stat button when you can just roll until you get good or great stats.
Well, I know a lot of older RPGs that do rolling stats. They let you roll infinitely, so it's like, I guess it's like, do you want to, if you get a roll, do you want to risk rolling again and possibly getting worse stats, or you could maybe get better stats?
I'm patient. Like that. I can just keep pressing the button until the roll is good.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly patient. Anyway, Berzer, the Lord of the Underworld, says we need to complete an objective, and then he'll let us live again. And this means we just get to choose what our condition is to beat the game out of this list. We can't choose the last one. The last one needs to be unlocked. But we're gonna choose the goal: seek revenge on our killer. No matter what you do, you're gonna end up at level 30 with a lot of gold. And a lot of party members, and a lot of mines, and a lot of everything you would want. So the goals aren't really that different. But it is kind of cute that you get to choose the ultimate objective of the game.
Yeah.
And I really like the seek revenge on your killer objective, because it at least gets you some mildly unique dialogue. When you confront your killer, of course.
Yeah, that seems like a good one to go with by default. I will say though, that big demon, he looks more like a cartoon bug.
Well, I mean, Beelzebub and all that.
Oh yeah, I get it.
So this game doesn't really have a tutorial for anything. I figured it all out on my own, and that's definitely a complaint people had about the game, is the lack of tutorial, but it's a really simple game. You just wander around talking to people, recruiting them, and going on the world map to fight monsters. So our class is Assassin, and we only want fellow Assassins. Assassins level up the fastest. They get a 1.5 experience multiplier for every enemy killed, and it seems to stack, which is crazy. So you level up really fast. And we want other assassins because we want people who are going to be the same level as us.
So you can recruit followers?
Yeah, all the NPCs in the town besides the shop NPCs, they have classes, you can talk to them, and you can recruit them if you meet the conditions they have. Some of them will have conditions like, oh, you're not rich enough. Some of them will have conditions that you've slayed a certain amount of a certain monster. There were no assassins in that town, though. So we didn't go for anyone. Every movement on the field costs food, so you need to hunt for food. There is a vegetarian option, but you can also shoot animals with your bow and they explode into meat.
Oh, it's first person now.
Yeah, it's a real hunting simulator this way. It wouldn't be immersive enough if you were in third person. There are different biomes, and the difficulty of finding food and treasures depends on which biome you're in. Because of the scenery, it can be rather maze-like.
Yeah. Have you ever played the old Kingsfield games on the PS1?
I have actually played Kingsfield. Their numbering's weird because they're numbered different in Japan, but I played what North America calls Kingsfield 2, which I think is Kingsfield 3 in Japan.
Yeah.
I've played that one.
Yeah, it's sort of the vibe I'm getting from this.
Well, unfortunately, that vibe doesn't carry very far. Anyway, after we hunt food, we can cook it, and that gets us cooking proficiency, which means we can cook more efficiently in the future, get more cooked food for less resources. And we use the food when we move across the world map. We have to spend it.
So I guess that's where that Master Chef goal would have come from.
Yeah, you can just grind practically anywhere to get a cooking proficiency. This is an event map. Sometimes there are events when we move across the world map and we can find references to other video games. There's a reference to Wonder Boy in one of these.
I think I saw a treasure chest back there.
There is one. I'm looking for the video game reference, though. It's here somewhere. All of the event maps have a video game reference and a treasure chest. Here's the video game reference. This is the Wonder Boy reference. These are characters from Wonder Boy in Monster World and Wonder Boy 4.
Oh.
If you don't know what those are, that probably
I think I recognize them.
One of them recently got a remake. I think Wonder Boy 4 just got a remake.
Yeah, I recognize the girl with the scimitar.
Yeah. I think that's their end-game armor also. But I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of cute little video game references recreated in this voxel style. So basically, since our goal is to kill our killer, we need to beef up to be strong enough to kill the killer, and we want to recruit a lot of fellow assassins so that they'll be our level. And most of the beefing up, even though you do gain levels, most of the beefing up is about getting the right equipment, the right armor. And in order to get the right armor, we're going to need the right materials. And to get the right materials, you need to fight monsters and open treasure chests. The combat system is traditional turn-based, but there's like a strength and weakness system in play. There are 3 types of attacks, red, yellow, and green. There are 3 types of enemies, red, yellow, and green. Red attacks are good against red enemies, yellow are good against yellow enemies. It's pretty simple. And when the enemies are underleveled, they'll run away from you instead of chasing you, just like in many other RPGs.
Okay. Oh, it's kind of weird that they had, like, it was real time when you were hunting the chickens, but now it's turn-based?
I mean, I kind of... Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, that was quick.
Yep, it happens, but we respawn at the last town. It auto-saves after you do practically anything in the game. The game is super forgiving. Anytime you do any event, it auto-saves. Oh, robbers. I mean, we can't pay, so I guess we have to refuse. But, it's a traditional turn-based system with basic strength and weakness mechanics. There is a sort of real-time component. After we select an attack, there's a quick time event we have to complete for the attack to connect. similar to, you know, like the Mario RPGs.
Yeah.
Or Legend of Dragoon. And the more hits in the attack you use, the longer the quick time event is. So the more chances there are to goof it up. But the long goal doesn't just involve grinding against enemies. We also have to craft armor and weaponry, and in order to do that, we need items from treasure chests. You can see there are 6 treasures left in this area we're exploring. And the most efficient way to craft armor that I found is to capture mines. There are mines on the world map, and we can explore them. And if they have metal inside of them, then capturing them will allow us to use that metal to craft new items. Oh. And we get metal from all of our mines at the start of every week. The game does not tell you who you're employing to work the mines, but presumably someone's working them, otherwise metal wouldn't keep coming out.
Well, they don't necessarily have to be employed, I suppose.
I guess we could just make any monsters we don't kill work in the mines, but we're pretty bloodthirsty.
We are working for Beelzebub.
I asked the developer why his name is Berzer, and he gave me an answer. I just don't remember what it is anymore. So that's pretty useless. The more we use a particular move, the better we get at it. The move itself will level up the more we use it. And if we have party members, they can learn the same move as us just by watching us perform it, which I think is pretty cool. The craft menu probably looks a little complicated, but it just tells you whether you have enough material to craft stuff, then you craft it. And the more stuff you craft, the more your crafting levels up, so you can craft higher quality items. The game has a lot of grinding in it, basically.
Yeah, I kind of got that impression.
It isn't a long game. It's like 6 to 9 hours for a playthrough. If you win, you can't really lose because there are checkpoints everywhere, but you can give up, I suppose. And the most important things to keep in mind are just the mines. Capture as many mines as you possibly can. The more you hunt food and cook it, the faster you'll make more food. And you want people who are the same class as you. You don't want someone over leveling, out leveling everyone else. Rather.
What happens if they out level? Do they leave the party, or do they start stealing loot or something?
Oh no, they just become dead weight.
Oh.
It's nothing like that. They just you just want useful people in your party.
So wait, if they outlevel you, they're no longer useful?
I mean, if they outlevel you, then they're just more useful than you, which is a problem for different reasons. You want everyone to be about the same level of competence, because the further you get in the game, this is a game all about stats. There are type advantages and stuff, but it's really about the stats. You want everyone around the same level of stats, because if someone dies during an encounter because they're under-leveled, they don't get the experience from the fight, even if they come back immediately after. And that just means they'll keep being under-leveled the more enemies you fight. The problem will just get worse. Everyone needs to be able to hang around to at least take a hit from whatever mobs you're fighting. And the mobs do so much damage in the late game. The max level is 40, by the way.
Oh, crap.
What was that, hon?
Oh, my phone started going off for some reason.
It happens. 40 is a bit of a weird max level, I think, but it seems deliberately chosen for how much content there is in the game. There's like a mix of a lot of different. Also, we can look in first person while we're doing this. I prefer third. There are a mix of a lot of mechanics in the game, like the world's procedurally generated. There's a mix of turn-based and real-time combat going on. The recruitment mechanics are cool. I like that you can make your own party out of people you find in town and that they have requirements for it. But it does seem like presentationally and functionally the game's just trying to be a video game. Like that's all its goal is to be a video game. It doesn't really want to be any more than that, and that's reflected in the title also.
Yeah.
It's got a simple set of stuff it wants to accomplish, and it's really all it's out to do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily.
Yeah, I think it looks good for what it's trying to do.
It's normally $5, I think. I got it on sale for 99 cents. There is there's all the stuff you'd expect here. Like there's a bestiary. There's there's fishing. The resource gathering. It's just all very simple. A frequent complaint is definitely that the exploration sections, where you're wandering around an open map like this looking for treasure, are rather boring. People found the wading through these sections to find the treasure chests to be excessive.
I noticed it's...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I noticed it's stuttering a lot. Is that the stream, or is the game like that?
That might be the stream. It depends what you mean by stuttering. But fortunately, this game in particular is not exactly graphically demanding or impressive, so it's unlikely you're going to miss anything particularly important.
Well, I just meant whenever in the battle, whenever the camera swings around, the frame rate dies, and it also slows down whenever you land an attack. And then sometimes when you're exiting battle, the video will stutter.
No, I think that's just Discord's streaming, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem for this game in particular. I'll look at it for other games we play. We leveled up, so we get to pick a new attack. Something I haven't mentioned about the combat mechanics is that you have an energy bar under your life bar, and every attack costs energy. There's no such thing as an attack that doesn't use mana in this game. And you have to rest if you want to recover mana. You can also see when enemies are about to recover mana, so you can attack them when they don't have the energy to attack back. There's a bit of strategy in that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think all the mechanics work together, and it all checks out. I'm sorry for swiveling like an oscillating fan, by the way. I'm looking for treasure chests. I'm looking for the big beam of light that shoots from the sky, indicating that there is a treasure chest nearby. All of the assets, as far as I'm aware, are original, which may not seem too impressive given the graphical style. But I always like knowing that the graphical assets are original, even if there's nothing particularly wrong with games that don't have all original assets. This group of enemies over here, that big group of enemies surrounding a boss character, you can't reach it. It's cut off. There's no way for me to get over there. And that's so disappointing.
I guess that's procedural generation for you.
Yeah, because all of the environments are procedurally generated. things like that are bound to happen often. And it's never like a problem because you can exit maps instantly and just go to a new map whenever you feel like it. But I wanted over there. I wanted to fight all those monsters in the big boss monster. I really wanted to see what that was like. I probably wouldn't have lived against the big boss monster, given it's just me, and I'm not particularly well leveled right now, but I wanted to know. We'll never know.
Yeah, it is weird.
You can see I'm trying my damnedest.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying their damnedest too.
Sort of an existential dread when you find the boundary conditions of your universe. Of course, we're all bound by the laws of causality, but these pixel people might not even be able to think about that. When you do talk to NPCs, the dialogue is not particularly insightful. It's mostly video game references and meta humor.
Hmm.
I found a chest finally. So you can maybe see why people might have complained about this part of the game, where you're wandering around an open field just looking for treasure chests. Because there's a lot of that. Traveling into the sea costs more food, but we can fish whenever we're in sea, so we're never actually going to run out. All of the towns are randomly generated also, and we finally found another, oh, we do have enough food for another party member. Like around 1 food, the dialogue says, we do have around 1 food. So Frida has joined our party. Frida's another assassin, and she also wears purple, which is optimal. That's what we want. Almost all of the music in this game seems to be parodies, riffs, homages to music that already exists in other RPGs. For example, the victory theme very similar to Final Fantasy's victory theme, and the desert theme is very similar to the desert theme in Wonder Boy, and I'm sure there's more.
I suppose that's to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, if there was any game that I would think would have the video game soundtrack reference other video game soundtracks, it would be this one. This was before I learned how you turn off the Steam overlay in big picture mode. So sometimes there are achievement pop-ups in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, I like how you can just pull a cauldron or an anvil out of nowhere.
I suppose we came equipped. Maybe Berzer gave us that stuff. The mine was empty except for a bunch of enemies. That's going to happen a lot when you search mines to try and craft metals. The further you are away from the starting point, the greater chance there is that the mine will have rare stuff in it. I think the rarest metal is Lilithium. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that before. The mines also have things in them that... So you know there are man-made substances that you can't just mine out of mines, right?
Yeah.
There's quite a few of... so there are like steel mines, for example. The game thinks that you can mine steel. and granted, you know, not everyone can know that steel is a man-made substance that doesn't just come out of mines. But
I don't know, that might be an intentional thing.
Maybe.
I know there was a game where you could mine meat.
What game was that?
I think it was West of Loathing.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, maybe it's a humor thing. They could really stand to play up the humor if it is a humor thing, but maybe it is. But yeah, capturing mines is how you get metal materials to craft better armor and weaponry, and you also need to level up your crafting to craft armor and weaponry. Those are the most important things to be doing if you want to have end-game capable characters. There are a lot of other classes that we just aren't interested in. Like, there's a blacksmith class, there's... the class I thought was most interesting was the adventurer class, which allows you to run away from random encounters on the field. It reduces the amount of food you spend when you move around. Because that's what adventuring is that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This game is so silly, says Vincent. I mean, it wouldn't kill the game to have more in-universe friendly dialogue, I think. Because in a game like this, where it's already super simple, you do want to try and stay invested in the world, so that way you keep playing at all. You want to have some audience retention capacity. And I just can't see anyone being convinced to play the game more by talking to an NPC and seeing cheeky dialogue about how the game is silly, or Zelda, or RPG references.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of got the feeling that was what this, game was all about, kinda. I mean, wasn't 3D Dot Game Heroes like that a bit as well?
It was, yeah. There's a lot of snarky humor in 3D Dot Game Heroes. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the snark is pervasive enough for it to be the game's identity in this case. Like, where's the snark in wandering around a big map looking for treasure for a really long time and fighting fairly normal monsters with no humorous dialogue or subversions of expectations?
Yeah.
Like in 3D Dot Game Heroes, they tried to subvert expectations on every level, not just in the writing department. That's what made it such an interesting world to explore. The reviews for this game were not very kind. Some of them were outright wrong about how the mechanics worked. Some of them just found the game boring. A lot of them complained about the lack of tutorial. And I understand the ones about the lack of tutorial and not finding the game world compelling. There were a couple takes that I thought were really bizarre and funny. Someone was having like an episode because the combat mixes turn-based and real-time. They were acting like that was a perversion of nature. And I thought that review was really funny. It sounded like they were offended morally by the inclusion of real-time elements in a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, I guess I never played Mario RPG, or Paper Mario, or Mario and Luigi, or Shadow Hearts, or Legend of Dragoon, or Lost Odyssey, or any of the other dozens of turn-based JRPGs that do that.
Yeah, there are so many. It's a little odd that they hadn't encountered that problem before. After we kill an enemy, they get added to our bestiary, and we can see how much health and mana they have next time around. Which, that's a pretty normal mechanic. Also, now that we have a party member After we perform a move, you can see it says up there, Frida observed Addy.
Mm-hmm.
Frida's watching me stab zombies, and so Frida will get better at stabbing because she's watching me stab zombies. So, like, I just like that if you have party members, they have a chance to learn from you.
Yeah.
There are skill trees you can take. You can take different paths when leveling up, but everybody can learn the skills of everybody else as long as they observe you performing the skill long enough. So nobody can really miss out on anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool that your party members can learn from you.
And we especially want that in this game because there's a combo in the end game I can't remember the name of off the top of my head, but it is a sequence of 10 strikes in a row, and assassins have really good crit rates. So doing 10 strikes in a row deals so much damage. It's just the best option available. Also, the boss fight music is playing right now because we're on the final floor of the mine, and this is a boss enemy. It is not any more threatening than a regular enemy, but it does get special music.
Looks like Unikitty.
Yeah, but with a visible spine.
Yeah.
Maybe they should try a zombie Unikitty. Pitch that as the next Netflix show. Alright, we've claimed a mine, which means that now we will get resources from that mine at the beginning of every week.
Oh, that's good.
There are fake days of the week. Right now it's Fenris Day, which I think takes place of Friday. This game's soundtrack was for sale independently of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't recall buying the soundtrack, but it's in my Steam folder.
Huh.
Maybe it just got bundled in later, but I could have sworn that you had to buy the soundtrack separately at one point. It says change tool down there. Oh yeah, I can switch to I forgot I could switch to the fishing rod. Because it's never really practical to fish in unless you're out on a boat. Vegetables, you can pick up vegetables instead of killing animals, but vegetables are worth less food than killing animals is, unfortunately. Oh, we found another mine. So this is basically the game loop. I wanted to capture a few mines before I said the words, this is basically the game loop, because otherwise you wouldn't have seen the game loop yet.
Yeah,
but
that looked like a Draki from Dragon Quest right there.
I think the enemies are definitely, in many cases, references to RPGs as well. There's another boss character. You can tell because he's big, and they're playing the music. But so this is the game. You travel around the world map, opening treasure chests to get materials. You capture mines to get metal materials to craft stuff with. And you want to level up your blacksmithing so that way it's all about getting stuff to craft stuff. That's the whole gameplay loop. You want mines, you want treasure chests, you want stuff to craft stuff. And you just do this over and over until you find the town with your killer, and then you kill them. Or whatever your objective might be.
So I guess, could you say this is more of a Minecraft RPG than Minecraft Dungeons?
I actually don't know anything about Minecraft Dungeons. Is it like a Diablo-style game?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Minecraft Dungeons, it was basically just a Diablo clone, or a very sort of streamlined and stripped down Diablo clone with Minecraft wallpaper.
Huh.
Which I thought was kind of bizarre, because you'd think a Minecraft RPG, you just do Minecraft, but with some more RPG elements. Or if you are going to do a Diablo clone, I think you would want to, you know, embrace some of the Minecraft stuff, like, you know, let you dig through walls and mine stuff, or, you know, start fires, do any of that kind of thing. I was kind of surprised when they made that game. Seemed like a weird choice.
That does sound weird. Like, the mechanics aren't even... There's not like a Minecraft take on Diablo in the mechanics or anything?
No, it's just a Diablo clone, but it's got a Minecraft skin.
I'm definitely gonna look that up after after we're done here, because that sounds like such a strange choice.
Yeah, I think it's free if you have Game Pass.
I have no idea what Game Pass is.
Oh, that's Microsoft's game rental subscription service thing.
I feel like such an old person. Kids today with your PS5s and your $70 video games and your Game Passes and your VR. I think this game would be fun in VR, honestly. I think VR is the most fun when you can insert yourself into really strange worlds that you would never, like, this doesn't look anything like real life or even most cartoon fantasy worlds. So trying to get immersed in a world like this sounds super strange, surreal, and interesting. Minecraft has VR, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
I feel like that...
Smithing a wooden dagger, that's... Not sure how that works.
Oh yeah, we've been doing that for a while. Every time we pull out an anvil, we've been hammering wooden things against the anvil to make wooden things with.
Surprised I never noticed.
It is pretty goofy. It also makes a clanging sound, but...
Yeah. I think it might also be the stream. The text is a little blurry.
The text is small, regardless of whether it's blurry. But thankfully, most of the text isn't too necessary to actually comprehend what's happening in the game world. I'll definitely look into other options to get you the good stuff that we're talking over in the future. It's just fortunate that this game didn't really have anything super graphically or narratively sensitive to be staring at. It's a very simple game. Level 10, we're already 1/4 of the way there. We got our first 3-hit combo, which means that there are now 3 QuickTime events to complete instead of just 1. Yep, it's Monday, so we got 17 bronze, and that's basically it. It's basically a vampire with a cloak and everything. But yeah, that's
he looks more like Captain Pike from Star Trek.
I don't know who that is. I really wish I knew more things, but I consume so much. There was I wanted you to see our 3-hit combo.
Yeah, that was cool.
Here it is again. You just spin to win, I believe is what the children say. But I think that's
yeah, I like that little victory dance.
They rotate and bob. But I think after we clear this mine, that's probably enough of 3D RPG. I'll definitely talk over killing the killer, but this is the game, more or less, and I like the strange mix of RPG mechanics and inspirations from different sources a lot, but it is rather simple. So if the strange mix of simple RPG mechanics and sort of a melting pot isn't appealing, then the game probably doesn't have a lot. It's not like there's a story to get invested in. The something that I do want to bring up really quick. When you kill boss characters, their blood is just bigger. The blood voxels are just bigger, and there's more of them. I think that's super goofy, because when you kill a super large enemy, the blood just flies all over the room.
Yeah, I noticed. That's a fun little touch.
So, what do you think of the game based on what you've seen?
It looks simple, but it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of love and a lot of love and interesting things about the game. I haven't played anything else quite like it, even though it's a mix of a bunch of things I have played before. Alright, so that's probably enough for 3D RPG. Thank you for coming with me on this this journey through randomly generated 3D voxel landscapes. Delvey. And I'll talk to you soon. Alright, I'm ready to kill my killer. I know a lot of people probably say that, but I'm confident that no one has ever been more ready to kill their killer than I am right now. You see that loading screen had a unicorn on it? That's sad. Not because it's a unicorn, but because I had to kill a unicorn earlier in this video game. Alright, killer's gone. I killed my killer. That was pretty easy, actually. So, now that that's out of the way, I do believe that Berzer promised us that we'd be allowed back to the mortal realm permanently. So let's go give him a chat. Berzer, by the way, is a nerd thing. He's named Berzer because of a nerd thing involving Lord of the Rings, apparently. I had more detail about it, but I think that's plenty info. No, I earned getting let go, Berzer. I earned it. It's not even that killing my killer was particularly hard, Berzer. I killed a unicorn. Oh my god, Frieda's dead. Berzer, when I killed that unicorn, I killed a piece of my soul. I've earned this. I've earned my path back to the mortal realm. That was the greatest sacrifice of all. Well, at least that attack is appropriately named. We did, in fact, get wrecked. But this will not be the end of us. We're gonna go beef up. And we're going to take down Berzer and take what's rightfully ours. Alright, here we are in the Lilithium Mines, which... Lilithium is the strongest metal available. We're going to craft the strongest armor and weapons available. And we're going to destroy Berzer. Because this just isn't fair. We've got a full party now. We've got 1,000 needles, which is the greatest assassin technique. It's just... You fantasize about meeting a unicorn someday, you don't think they're going to try and stab you through the chest. I wasn't prepared for that knowledge. I should have never had to learn that. And is it anyone's fault that I had to kill that unicorn? No, but it is Berzer's fault that I didn't get a reward for killing that unicorn. Alright, we're just about ready. Just need a few more resources, and then he's going down. Then he's going down. Alright, Berzer, here we are. Yeah, no, it's not working, buddy. You can't even kill my weakest character. I hope you're ready to get cheesed. And that was 3D RPG. It's a simple game, but it accomplishes what it sets out to do. And I enjoyed figuring out the mechanics and nuances of the combat systems and exploring the game world. Thought it was a fun time. I'll see you guys around.